Hi, everybody. How are you today? We are back with another author interview for the Scars to Stars book launch that's coming on February 22nd. So today I am here with Lisa Rogers, and she is going to give us a little overview of what her chapter is about. Welcome,
Thank
Lisa.
you. Thank you, Dina. My chapter is called um, Going from Why Me to What's Next. And the message is that we are more powerful than our past the moment we take ownership of what's next, right? Um, I there's not first of all there's nothing wrong with being a victim. People are victimized, unfortunately every day, and sometimes the word victim gets a bad rap, right? Nobody wants to be a victim, but there's a big difference between being a victim and like owning victimhood, and I think that distinction needs to be made more often, because I think it's discouraging to people to want to speak up if they are going to be looked at as a victim. So there's nothing wrong with being a victim, but when you own victimhood like I did, because I didn't get love, so pity was kind of the next best thing. And so I ended up having a lot of trauma in my childhood, and then in the service of avoiding the pain of that, created a whole life filled with more trauma and pain, trying to run from the original pain. So I just kept keeping it on, and sometimes, I got myself in my own jackpots, and other times, it was what it was. But I always used it to try and elicit the closest thing to love I thought I could ever get. And I asked why me an awful lot. Why me? Was I born evil? Does God hate me? What did I do to deserve this? That kind of stuff. And it's just an icky place to be. It doesn't feel good, and you live in the problem instead of the solution. And as long as we live in the problem, like, we can't even see solutions. It's like, like I talk about suicidal ideation and stuff like that being like a hand that's in front of your face and you can't see what's in front of it. It's the same with living in the problem. Now, I believe fully in, whatever's happening in the moment, just experiencing it. So if there's a painful moment, to lean into it and experience it and go through it, rather than try to stuff it or go around it or step over it. So I'm not saying deny anything and just move on. I'm saying feel it, experience it, do what you need to do to get the help you need, and then what's next, and to not live from that space, continually looking back to see, how you're doing. And that as soon as we own whatever's happened and say, okay, I'm going to feel what I need to feel and talk about what I need to talk about, have the difficult conversations, right? The awkward conversations. And then what's next? What do I do now? How do I live in the solution? What's the solution? And I didn't know how to make a decision. I didn't make decisions. Whatever life wanted to toss at me or toss me around. And all I thought my job was to land on my feet. That was it. And I was really good at that. I was really good at landing on my feet. But I wasn't creating a life for myself, for my family. I wasn't creating a future. I was just constantly picking up the pieces and trying to dust myself off and get up again and try again. And I did fail forward, at least. But once I started to own the decisions of what happens next, I was able to create a life worth living and create a family worth feeling worthy of. And it's that's where the sense of empowerment comes in just making the decision. And sometimes it's a small decision and sometimes it's a big decision, but usually it's the decisions day in and day out that either are going to take me down a path of pain and suffering and self-pity, or a path of feeling strong and confident and courageous and excited to step out into the unknown, which is where, everything good is on the other side of that fear, right? So just how some small decisions in the right direction will take us where we need to go. and that we can overcome whatever adversities in our life, whether we caused it ourselves or it was done to us. It really doesn't matter. No matter what's happened, what we've experienced, we can rise above it and have something new, something different, something better.
Yes, we can. I think that's the whole purpose of this book, is to let people know that they're not alone and that they can rise above whatever it is. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
My other question for you today is about your experience of being part of this project and writing a small part of your story.
It's been very interesting. I'm authoring a book, a larger book about my memoir, self-help memoir, and I wanted to find a story that was impactful. This story popped into my head about an experience I had that I've never talked about. Never talked about it. Not I didn't report it. I didn't share it with anybody. It was something that happened, and I just said, you know what? Nobody's going to believe you, and nobody cares. So stuff it, suck it up, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and keep it moving. And that was pretty much my MO. So writing down that experience and kind of living, through that moment, through these eyes now, 30 years later, was very interesting. And to see my own growth from then to now, and to know that I was a part of this larger collective of people who have gone through so many different experiences, and how they reacted to their experiences and their approach to recovery and overcoming what they've gone through, and how many different ways there are to recover and to get through and to rise above. That it's, one size doesn't fit all. And here's an opportunity to read this book where, okay, if this story doesn't resonate with me, or this solution doesn't resonate with me, there's all these others that I can check out in this book. And chances are you're going to find something that will speak to you. And I think that that's great, because then it's just an opportunity to reach more people and help, touch more lives. And I think it's a really good opportunity for people to find themselves somewhere in that book and learn something new and try something new. And I'm just really excited to be a part of this project. And I really appreciate you inviting me to take part in it.
Well, thank you. I'm super excited to have you. And I think it's been such an awesome experience for all the authors, because all of them tell me, like, a lot of the 19 people in this book didn't know each other. And
Yeah.
so learning about each other's experiences and reading about them and connecting is also creating this community that is supportive and helpful in a lot of ways. And I think that's our end goal, is conversations and community through personal story, and how we can help people realize they are not alone in the world, and that there are other people who've been where they are, and they can show them the way out, and we can all support each other. And I'm getting emotional because this has been something I've been working on for so long. So I'm excited to have you and all of the other people involved. And I'm so excited for everyone to be able to read this book and see how it can help them, or if they maybe want to be part of another one in the future. We already are talking about that. So super excited about what it's going to do for everyone involved and all the people we're going to touch in the world. And also, just to mention, and I've said this on most videos, but all the proceeds from this book will go to the Realize Foundation, which is all about suicide prevention. And Lisa happens to be our president of the board. And we are super excited about what is coming for our organization and the lives we're going to be able to save and change in the process. So thank you for listening. Thank you for following what we're doing. And I'm going to take us out of the stream right now so I can show you the graphic for the book launch that's going to happen on February 22nd. It's going to be a virtual event, and anybody is welcome. It's free to register through Eventbrite. So I'll put the graphic up now, and then afterwards we'll put a link below the video so you can join us. So thanks so much for watching, and we will hope to see you soon.